Ours is a love story, how I married the love of my life. Hello, y'all. I'm Diane. Well, my husband and I just celebrated a huge milestone of an anniversary. And I have to say, it was a wonderful, wonderful anniversary. We reflected upon all the wonderful times that we've had on our journey and the difficulties that we've overcome on that journey. And we are excited about the future, the next part of the journey. And so I got to thinking about how my marriage has been a love story. And everyone who has a loving relationship has their own unique love story. And we most certainly have. I've told my story many times of how I met my husband. The morning I woke up, I knew I was going to meet my husband. I didn't know what he looked like. I didn't know where I was going to meet him, but I could feel his overwhelming presence around me. And it was a very spiritual presence. It was as if he was standing next to me, and yet there was no one standing next to me. That morning I went to the gym. I went to Del Taco to get something to eat before work, and I could feel the presence of this man so strongly around me, and I knew I was meeting my husband that day. And I often say it was the Holy Spirit that was letting me know that my husband was entering my life. I was in a great place in life. Wasn't out there hungry. I wasn't out there looking for love. I was very happy as a single person. If the right person came along, I was very, very open to that. And if not, I was very happy leading my own best life. And so that night, he happened to walk in. His plane broke down where I worked, that he was on, and he was going to end up there for 3 days. And he walked in. We only talked for just a moment. Somehow he got my telephone number, but I knew he was going to be my husband, but I never told him that. Well, the next morning he called me at 7 o'clock in the morning and woke me up. And he said, I don't know why I'm going to tell you this, but you're going to be my wife. And I said, yes, I know, but call me back in 3 hours when I'm awake. And he did. And we talked and we talked and we talked. We didn't get together that day, but we got to, because I had a date with somebody else, but we got together the next day for the gym. I took him to my gym and we worked out together. And he brought me a little cup with flowers. It was around Christmas time and it was wonderful. And we went to the beach because I lived in Southern California at the time. And we went to the beach and we walked in the beach and it was just magical. And then he had to leave to go across the world on business, and he left. And this is back before email or anything like that. And so he would write me constant letters. I would get 3 letters a day, sometimes 4 letters in one day, and I would write him back. Not quite that many, but I would write him back, every day. And about a month later, he said, I'm coming back to California to see you, and I'm going to stay 2.5 weeks, and we're going to travel all over. And I was like, oh no, I barely know this man. I hardly know this man, but I knew he was going to be my husband. It felt right. He came back. We spent 2.5 weeks. He rented a beautiful car. We drove all around everywhere. We went to Las Vegas. We went to San Diego. We went to San Francisco. I mean, we just traveled everywhere. We even went to Death Valley and Hollywood and the beaches. And we just had a wonderful time. That was when he met my mom. So he, at the end of 3 weeks, he had to go back to work, and it was on the other side of the country where we live now, many years later. And he said, would you please come? I can't leave my job. Can you leave yours? Because my job was more flexible. And yet I was leading an amazing life in California that I was leading. I had great jobs. I had friends. I had everything. But I knew it was right. So I stepped on a plane to a place I'd never been. And away I went. And I stepped off that plane on the other end, and there he was. And it was a magical, magical relationship. And then we were married a few months later. And I was so grateful. And we've had this amazing journey, this amazing love story, and most love stories can have difficult moments in it. And we are like any other love story. We've had our challenges and difficulties, but we've had so much wonderful, so much amazing, wonderful. And I'm so grateful for the love of my life. And I married for love. I didn't marry for any other reason. I believe in marrying for love. Well, from my house to yours, may God bless you. I hope you like, share, subscribe, and I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye.